Today we welcome Daphne Amster from the Leicester School Board. She works at Edgewater Elementary and she is a grade 4-5 teacher. Today we're going to talk about how her experience has been with the transitioning from face-to-face classroom to an online model. What has been some of the advice that you're giving to parents at home, teaching their kids or keeping them, trying to keep them engaged and the learning going on? Like, what are some of your advices that you throw their way?
Well, I think that most teachers are going to only give work that they know that their student can do alone. They don't want to put the burden on the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the best thing for parents is to help their children stay on a routine. And by routine, I mean try to get them to go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. If we're on Zoom 3 days a week, then know that the times and the links of the Zoom meetings or the Meet meetings whenever the classes get together. But also, I think that the teacher's role is to really, send out those email links and reminders to parents on a weekly basis. Just check in with them to make sure that everything is okay. So organization would be the best advice that I would give.
Yeah.
Routine and organization to parents.
No,
Try to maintain that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. Let's shift a little bit back to teachers a bit, Daphne. And what were some of your greatest PD sessions that you had, or how did you get up to speed with the online? What were some of the things that you did personally as an educator? I know that you're quite at ease with technology, but were there things that you did to kind of help you along the way as in this transition?
Yeah, the first week in March, I got on to a Zoom webinar to learn how to work Zoom. Mm-hmm. So I took a lot of webinars. There are so many free webinars being given out now by Google, by mm-hmm. Apple, by companies, private companies. So I've been taking a lot of webinars. A lot of it is, again, you have to sift through it because a lot of them wants to sell their product, but right. Most of them are there for the student. I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to being able to put what I learned into work when I go back to school. But yeah, I've been taking a lot of webinars and trying to teach myself new things. Nice. And also a lot of it has to do with pedagogy, but at the moment, the webinars and the learning that I'm doing is more educational technology based.
And how has your board been supporting you throughout this transition as well? Like I've talked to a ton of consultants and they are continuously running. They're all like on a treadmill right now, just going.
Oh, yeah. So our wonderful school board, we have a great team at Educational Services, and they've been putting out Zoom workshops. Mm. So they've been trying to stay up there with the latest fun things to keep students engaged. So there were many workshops. One of them was the latest craze, which was the virtual classroom, the Bitmoji virtual classroom. Mm. So many of our teachers now have a Bitmoji virtual classroom, which is really cool. It's a hyperlinked doc, but it's through pictures. So you build your classroom and you have these little images, and when you click on the image, it takes you to a website, so that it's a fun way for students to see what their teachers are planning for them, or what they want them to learn, or cute videos to keep them busy, activities.
Oh, that's cool.
They've been busy.
Yeah. There's a similar online application also called ThingLink. You ever hear that one? That's
been around for a while. Yeah. That's amazing, that one. Yeah. I love that one.
Yeah, that one's fun too. And it gives those visuals too, eh? It's like, so where do you teach? Are you at home, or do you go into school sometimes to teach, or how do you go about it?
No, I'm at home. Right now we have the not ed tech, but the ed camps going on in school. So
Right.
we have, I think we have in total about 10 students of our 400 that are actually in school, keeping their distance apart. And our math, music teacher, our art teacher, phys ed teachers, they're the ones that are teaching them,
Right.
or keeping them active. And all of our classroom teachers are at home doing the distance teaching online. So I'm in my bedroom right now, and I'm always with the doors closed because I keep hearing about all these wonderful Facebook moms who walk in naked in the background of their child online with their teachers. And so I'm very careful to not have that repeated in my house.
Yes. I went on a Zoom meeting. We did a Scratch Ed meetup, and one of the rules they put is be aware of your backgrounds, because sometimes you hop on and you're focused on the screen and you don't really know what's happening behind you. So that was an interesting tip I found. So Daphne, as we kind of start wrapping up here, can you give me like a day in the life of what happens when your kids come to you online? What's the flow of events, and what are some of the things you might do with them online?
Okay, but keep in mind that this is a very personal thing. Every teacher is doing what works for them.
Absolutely.
So my partner and I have a system that on Mondays we use the Google apps because we love how it's seamlessly integrated.
Yep.
So we post assignments and tutorials on Google Classroom, and it syncs with our Google Calendar so that the students get notifications so they know when things are due. And they know when they have a Zoom meeting, and everything has the links in it. So it's a nice, tight way to keep everything in one spot. So on Mondays, we post our tutorials for the week. So a few videos. For example, this week, my students will be learning about the order of operations in math. So I put up 2 tutorials, and I'm kind of like flipping the classroom so that they watch it on Monday, so that tomorrow, our Tuesday session, we have a half hour in French and a half hour of English. They have 2 different links, and they appear from 10 to 10:30 in French class, and then from 10:30 to 11 in my class. And I do an actual lesson, so that I am actually now reinforcing the concept that they've seen in the video on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I will send home after the tutorial. I will post a link for an assignment for practicing. And then on Thursday, there's a tutorial breakout session. So I have myself, my French teacher, and 2 integration aides, and we break out. Whoever shows up for a tutorial, they need help, we break out into rooms with an adult so that everybody has more, like, I would say it's about 3 to 1 ratio, so that we can help them focus on problems that they're having. And then on Fridays, we have a Zoom lesson where we have a gamified assessment. So we'll play games like Kahoot or Breakout EDU to make sure that the students are actually able to show their comprehension and their understanding of the week's work.
Sounds like you've been doing this your whole career, Daphne. That's amazing. I love hearing your schedule too and the routine. I think it's helpful for others to hear as well, because we are in this figuring out phase, trying things out, and kind of not really sure where it's going to go.
Oh yeah, and there are kinks that people have to work out. And like when I need a whiteboard, I'm used to my fancy schmancy smartboard in school, and all of a sudden here I'm using Jamboard, which is a Google app, and it's decent. It's getting the job done, but I feel like I'm always in the middle of an earthquake when I'm writing. That's how the pen doesn't write properly. So I've ordered an Apple Pencil, and I'll try to use my iPad in the future. So every time we do something new, we're like, oh, this doesn't really work for me. I'm going to have to adapt, and we live and learn, and we move on.
Wonderful. And talking about resources, what are some of your go-tos that you're using nowadays? What are some of your digital or live resources?
I feel like if teachers are going to try to compete with their kids' day-to-day they use technology on a day-to-day basis. If we're not going to compete with those, we're going to have a hard time keeping their attention and keeping them motivated. So I love using apps that gamify the content that I'm teaching. So, quizzes, Kahoot, like you're saying, ThingLink.
Right.
And then there's an app that I really love. It's called Flipgrid, and I like it because kids are using TikTok.
Right.
And although I'm really not a fan of TikTok because I find it not age appropriate for my grade 4 and grade 5 students, I know that some of them are using it regardless. Yeah. So I like Flipgrid because it's kind of like TikTok, but for learning. I'll post a question or a short video, and then they have to record videos of themselves answering it, and others can comment on their posts. So it's a lot of fun, but I can hear them, right? Because it's not, it's on the spot. They have to really come up with it as they're going along. So I can really assess their learning.
What
so
a
I love that one.
To connect the students together again too, or they can watch a video of their peer and then
they're with each other even though they're not with each other.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
And then my go-to is the Google Suite because you've got the Google Slides, the Docs, the Classroom, the calendar. Everything is all in one, and it integrates very nicely. So those are the ones that I like using the most.
Nice. Well, as we wrap this up, Daphne, I have one final question for you, and it's about what does September look like for you guys? What do you think? What do you think September is going to be like?
September looks like a crystal ball that we're looking into, and it's very cloudy, and we see images, but it's not clear yet. But what we're thinking is that, look, there are many options out there, and I'm not going to speculate, but I'm assuming that we have to prepare as if we're going back to the classrooms.
Okay.
So we're going to prepare like we're going back in September, and that nothing has changed, and we're going back to the regular day-to-day where we see our students, because eventually that's going to happen if it's in September or October, whatnot. Right. But I'm really, out of everything that has happened, everything happens for a reason. And I'm really actually looking forward to seeing what teachers come up with now that they've been pushed out of their comfort zone and that they've been forced to maybe do things that they would have never done if they were in the classroom. So it's a shift that's happening, and it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing the creative part. Teachers and people in general have had to really get creative to work around our new norm. So absolutely. I'm actually excited to see what's happening in September.
You will take some time off, though.
We'll see.
It's hard to stop sometimes, right?
It's hard, but I have a pool, so I work out by the pool. So I'm relaxed and keeping my brain going as I'm relaxing.
Right on. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Daphne, for taking some time to just have a conversation about our educational world right now, and I'm sure a lot of your comments and your experiences is going to be super helpful for a lot of teachers out there. We're all trying to, recreate a new normal here, and I think the voices of educators need to be heard more. So I'm super happy that I got to have this conversation with you.
So am I. Thank you, Chris. And to all you teachers out there, cut yourself some slack. Yeah. We're doing this for the first time. It's not going to be right the first attempt. So, pat yourself on the back. We're doing a kick-ass job. Ooh, am I allowed saying that? You might have to edit that. We're doing a really great job, teachers.
We are. And thank you for those words of encouragement. And you have yourself a wonderful summer. And I'm going to be talking to you soon.
I hope so.
Very soon.
Have a great summer.
All right. Take care. Thanks so much.